Colliers International is one of the three biggest real estate service providers in the world, and with 522 offices in 62 countries. If you see at this graph about the world GDP annual growth, I highlighted the euro area in red, and if you can see now that we have the least best performing continent at this moment, despite, and that will show on the next slide, is that the global investment movement within 2011, the biggest plus went within net flows went into Europe from all over the world, and so despite the low annual growth, Europe is still a safe haven for the investment market in the Netherlands. Well, it probably isn't a coincidence that the Netherlands is not the number one investing country within Europe. Of course, most of the money comes into the UK, to Germany, and to France, and then the Scandinavian countries, and afterwards the Netherlands. What is interesting to see is that in the last 12 months, the Netherlands is one of the three countries that were the most active with investments, together with Ireland and Turkey. Of course, for Ireland as well as for the Netherlands and for Turkey, counts that the last years before weren't that good. So every positive change is still quickly a significant one. Here we see that the Netherlands is one in the top 5 of most active countries, and generated an investment volume about 1.4 billion in the last 12 months. This slide shows the interest that are still within the Netherlands market, and we see that the cross-border investors are still taking a lot of the market, and that should be growing expectedly in the next few years. A total volume of about 4.5 billion. What is interesting to see is that despite the so-called bad office market in the Netherlands, 45% of all the investments went to offices, and secondly to industrial with 13%, and a very interesting 7% for hotels. This slide shows that, to my opinion, it's a very interesting time now to invest in the Netherlands, because you see that the highest cap rates were already within the start of 2012, and probably for, of course, the good locations, but will decline even more. So if you don't want to make sure that you're not paying too much, then step in right now. What we see from trends in the Dutch market, of course, there are a lot of real development of current office buildings on good locations. We still face difficulties with finance, and retail and hotels seem to perceive to be an attractive market. Although office market seems unattractive because of the high vacancy rates, one of my panel members will show us otherwise. So it's getting more and more interesting. The retail market, well, they're facing, of course, with online sales. Every good retail company should have an online sales strategy as well. Rising vacancy rates, the gap between the A and the BC locations is getting wider, and the large companies are dominating the retail area in the Netherlands. For the residential market, it's very interesting in the Netherlands, and especially for the mid-market rentals. People with a 34,000 or 35,000 euros per year of income find it really hard to find a decent home first, and then they have the problem that they can't finance it. So they still have to live somewhere, and they can afford between 600 and 1,000 euros a month to rent. So we see now that this is still getting a bigger and bigger market. Some large transactions, there were a bit more, but I think these are one that are very specific. It's especially the high-tech campus in Eindhoven that went for approximately 425 million to Chalet Group. Of course, the shopping center Lange Voorhout in Oostgeest. The Uni-Invest portfolio, where everyone knows that TPG and Patron bought that. The Cordaris HQ was sold to from Bouwinvest to OVG. And the Wall, and of course the Vinoli building, and of course also the Rock that were sold to Deka. Well, despite negative sentiment, we still believe there are some very interesting segments to invest in the Netherlands. Retail high streets in the top 20 cities, prime located office buildings, residential homes, family houses in the mid-market segment, and student housing facilities. If you would like to a bit more about the European and worldwide investment market in real estate, I can recommend you to read our global sentiment survey. That will come really quickly. That was the end of my presentation. Thanks very much.